Hi guys, Max here, back with another Disney Mirrorverse video, and I'm excited to bring in this announcement on 2.0 game update notes. This is going to be a huge amount of changes coming into the game with this update, and there's a couple of dates that we need to set in mind and just kind of remember as we want to kind of definitely log in and just go in there and play around the new game mode that's going to be introduced. So here we are. Um, here's a view of the new character guardian that's coming into the game, and if you probably already guessed it and already know who it is, so I'll leave my thoughts further into the video. But here's the table of content, because there's a lot to cover in this one video here. There's riff rates, relics, the dungeons updates, the guardian updates, and some improvement and updates that are always look for into the game to make sure like certain characters, certain guardians are working properly, certain features are working properly or fixed or improved. So that's always interesting, but let's get right into it. So riff rates, those are going to be launching. Here we are. So the update is going to be available into the store tomorrow, September 27th. So make sure you keep an eye on the update, your game update, whether you're using iOS or Android. So riff rates are going to be coming to the game, and those are going to be launching on the September 29th. So there's going to be a few days after the update. So as you can see it, wait, there we go. You can see the date here at the bottom, right at the bottom, says September 29th. That is where you're going to be able to take your alliance and compete with other alliances through the leaderboards to see how many points you can stack up. But this first launch, which is the 29th, is going to be a placement bracket kind of launch. So it kind of here covers it here. I don't want to read everything, because if not, I am going to be taking way too long inside this video to make sure to cover, and I do want to cover everything. So it's a placement, so they're going to be seeing basically how the alliances are going to place and kind of what ranking and slot you're going to be in, and that's going to determine what kind of rewards you're going to be getting because of that placement. So make sure if you're in the active alliance, or if you're going to be looking at riff rates and you're going to be wanting to participate in riff rates, make sure you communicate with your alliance and talk about being active come September 29th so that your placement is good. So keep that in mind, okay? And I know all the active alliances are already probably thinking about this, talking about this as of the launch of this update information. So the other thing, relics, we did cover those on the live stream and kind of what they look like, what to expect on them. Those are coming to the game with this new update. So and how are we going to be able to get relics? Right now it's going to be through the dungeons, so make sure you're again doing the dungeons when the relics dungeons comes around. So those are going to be very interesting, as they're going to boost up your guardians, and can't wait to boost up some of my favorite guardians when it comes to the relics. So we're going to be having fun with those. So that's also coming to the game. The dungeons, so the dangerous dungeons updates. This one I do want to cover some of the bullet points. So it says after 2.0 update is released, dungeons will be accessible, will not be accessible until you have dungeons 2. Okay, so if you haven't updated the game and you're like, why can't I see the dungeons? Go update the game so you can see the dungeons, because that's going to be the reason why. So it says relics boxes can now be found on the floor of all dungeons, with higher difficulties having more boxes and better odds at higher rarity relics. So upgrade your guardians as much as you can and test your relics, test yourself in the higher updates. I wonder, we're gonna find out here in a couple of days, once this gets released, right? But I wonder if you have to complete the entire dungeons, meaning beat the boss, to keep everything you have from that floor. Because if that's not the case, you might be able to go through some floors, pick up some high leveled rarity relics, and obviously you're not strong enough to beat the boss, but you can probably keep those relics because you've moved on to the next floor. We're gonna be taking a look and testing some of that some of those features, maybe workarounds. I don't know how the new dungeons is going to be laid out. So if you can't keep none of that until you beat the boss, man, it's gonna be a tough one, because then you got to make sure your guardians are strong enough to beat the boss. But it says tank troubles, melee support, and range have had their rewards changed to no longer have gems and and rewards less notes. But now reward relics crystals, and ores. All relics earned during these events match the role of that event, for example, tank relics and so on. So Moat Madness is no longer a weekly event, and it's instead replaced with a relic rumble, and an event that rewards relics for all roles. So you're going to be seeing the change again, change of modes to relics. You're probably wondering, so like, where am I going to get my modes now? Where am I going to get my rank materials? It says the buff list in the dungeons map screen has been updated so that the floor buffs are in one row. The chest buffs are in separate rows. Okay. Let's keep reading here. Adjustments have been made to the randomness of layouts in dungeons. Rewards that have a rarity now have a background color that corresponds to that rarity. In addition, areas of the dungeon's features. The buff armor, let me see, removes has been corrected to trigger on every third hit, and its descriptions. All right, it's just talking about some of the little updates and buffs, but don't worry too much. This might cause some kind of alarm of saying, hey, where do I go and find my modes? I think the game is going to be coming out with areas to focus where you can get those items from. So don't panic in that area. Some of the also updates here, guardian updates, right? Rank attributes. That is a pretty cool fix here to the guardian's traits, the attributes. But let's talk about the attributes. The total attributes increased at rank 10 has been reduced from a total of 30% higher attributes to a 9.5 higher attributes. So I'm gonna see how that gets introduced. I have some guardians already that are pretty high in the attributes ranked up, but take a look at the new how they're gonna be laying that out, because it's really hard to get to like rank 10. It says rank 2 increases by 4%, 3 by 1.5, 4 increases by 0.7. That's 4 through 5. Rank 6 increases by 0.6. You know, you see the percentages in the numbers there. So again, you know, we're gonna be seeing that, see how that makes your guardian maybe just a bit stronger, maybe gets the dungeons done, you know, when the difficulty has been is increased and it's harder to get through, bro. The guardian traits, this is interesting too. So the new rule for the new guardians is each guardian's gonna have a minimum of 3, which is really low, but a maximum of 5. Traits are important for the towers. Traits are important for that, I think, only at the moment. Whether the game is building something else that might introduce more traits needed or information required for guardians, then we're gonna see that. But now 5 is the max. I don't recall if there was ever a guardian that had more than 5. I'm sure there was. I'm sure there is. I'm sure I've seen it. But there is some guardians that have very little. So that's good that they're focusing on the traits. And some of the traits have been fixed, like Frank Wolf is no longer stealthy, Maui is no longer fury. You know, just to kind of, as we get more guardians, it makes sense, because you're gonna be able to, like, yes, this guardian, it's actually specifically for this, okay? Bosses, the whole knockback situation is now just basically on the specials. You can't just knock back a boss, but you could, what is it? There's a description in there, pushback. You could push back a boss without a special, with a heavy. You need a special to knock them back. And that's gonna be the way it's gonna be working for now, basically. Okay, and then let's cover some of the guardians here. So Captain Hook, Evil Queen, Gaston. I was a little concerned because you know, your favorite guardians, you know, who's gonna be in touch, right? Evil Queen, I was a little concerned that there was something gonna be changed in her, but it wasn't. It's just a better description of what what she does. So it says core abilities description has been updated to better indicate that Evil Queen's heavy attack is close range and can push back enemies. So just a better description of what she does with her, right, with that description. But that is my favorite guardian here out of this bunch here. I know some people like Buzz and Gaston as well, but fix the description issue with the core abilities where it was incorrectly stating Buzz heavy attack reduces 25% armor. That has been corrected to state 20%. Okay, note this is a description only issue. In game it was always reducing 20% armor. So if you're seeing that as a nerf, it looks like it wasn't. It was always doing 20%. It's just that the description was saying otherwise. I would be you know, before you update, if you want to go out and test to see if there's a difference in how your numbers are being reduced, it would be good to do, especially if you're a Buzz Lightyear fan and you have your Guardian ranked up really high. I would say go in there and just record some, you know, a couple of clips to see how much damage you're doing in that exact same fight. Update the game, figure out if there was a change on that. I based on what they're saying, I don't think so though. So, but I know the concerns are always going to be there. Updates and improvements. Take a look here, guys, of just all the updates and improvements, known issues. I don't think there's any huge ones to cover there, but super excited again. Super excited with these are good. These are good, but extremely excited with the dungeons, the relics, and the rift raids. I am currently in an alliance that's, you know, fairly active. So we're gonna talk, maybe see if they're wanting to push in this area, and if not, then that's cool. You know, but guys, let me know what you think when it comes to your lines and the news, the big news. And then also here, I didn't finish telling you what I think about the new Guardian that's coming out. This image threw me off completely, but it is Cruella, and she's gonna be a range Guardian. Cruella is one of my favorite. I think I loved Cruella more from her new movie. There was a new movie released in 2021, Cruella by Disney, and ever since that movie, I've watched that movie like, I can't tell you, maybe like plus 10 times for sure. I don't want to put a number after 10 times, but plus 10 times I watched that movie 100% of the time. I just love the way that movie's put out. The Cruella character really comes to life, and you know, just a phenomenal movie, and made me love the Cruella character. And now that she's being added into the store as a Guardian, I can't wait. She's range. I can't wait to be able to like play with her, and excited for her. So plus I love dogs. I know she loves them too. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy this coverage of 2.0 update game notes, and I'll see you guys soon. I know, just on the side note, I haven't been streaming much of the game. I've been playing and grinding out the other MCOC Kabam game incredibly hard, but we are going to be coming with the updates here in just a few days. There's a lot coming to cover on live stream, so we'll be there soon, guys. Thank you so much for your patience, and yeah, I'll be live streaming Disney Mirrorverse soon. Take care, guys. Peace.